After working with 1,065 riders, I get asked all the time, how do I get up something like this, get it, woo, and make it look cool and make it easy? I'm gonna show you how in this video. My name is Dave Davidson. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the founder of Mountain Bike Academy. We're on a mission to help riders shred with confidence by restoring athleticism, and I'm making this video for you, specifically if you love riding up things, but you hate feeling like you're struggling. So let's go. This is something that, again, I've worked with a lot of riders, and we use something called the 7 fundamental movements of the modern mountain biker. And in order to get up something like this, you can't just, get a technique, practice a technique and get it, because all this stuff is out there. And if it was working for you, then you wouldn't need this. But in order for me to show you this technique and for you to get it easily and look cool on the trail, you need to understand what's working on the inside. Okay, so in order to do not just a climb of this, but to be able to clear something like this and keep your momentum on the other side. In order for you to do that, you need to have a couple of these 7 fundamental movements of the modern mountain biker. And I'm just gonna go straight for describing them here. The first one and the most important one is going to be the pedal press. We push into the front foot like this, so it's down and forward, and then we counteract the spinning up of this pedal using our back foot. And what this does, it creates a platform in the shape of a triangle that we can stand on. Why this is so important for obstacles like this is we need to be able to push evenly into both feet in order to create an upward reaction. So if you can't do this equally, then you end up falling off to the side, you lose balance. And when you lose balance, then your momentum on the other side of the obstacle is killed, and it's a lot of effort. It creates stability fore and aft for us. So imagine if you just get on a bike and you put pressure or weight down into the front pedal, what's gonna happen? That thing's going to rotate forward when you're riding. If you put weight into the back pedal, it's gonna rock backward. And so what happens is you have the ability on a bike to stand between here and here. It's a lot easier to balance on our legs than it is to balance on our hands. So when you have the pedal press engaged, coming up to and while you're doing this move, it keeps you balanced and centered over the bike. And so if you don't have the ability to create this force in the body off the bike, then it's going to dramatically impact your ability to do the techniques that you see these popular YouTubers doing. Again, what we need to be able to do is essentially a small lunge while we're pushing our feet away from each other. So I would actually recommend that you get off the bike before you start. Get on flat ground. You can try lifting up your front toe. Your back toe should be the thing down. And just try spreading your feet apart from each other and feel what that feels like. And you're also gonna notice it's really hard to rock forward and backward when you do this. You wanna replicate this feeling off the bike, on the bike. I mean, there's probably a ton of different ways to do this, but essentially what we need to do is we need to load up, we need to lift up, and then we need to do something after that. And I'll show you the different techniques. So loading up, that's where we're getting ready to go from down here to up there. And the reason why we want to load up is when we put pressure down into the bike, what's going to happen is it's going to rebound back up into us. And for those of you hardtail riders out there, it's just shorter, it's just faster, and you're going to use your tires for the rebound, not the whole bike. So by creating this load, we're going to store up energy, and then by lifting up or leading up, we're going to get our torso out of the way so that we can make room for the next move. Now, there's some more advanced stuff, like you can do bunny hops onto this thing. I'll show you guys a little bit of everything and put some flavor to it so it's nice and fun. But I really just want to help you with like what makes this easy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to get a front wheel lifted up onto this obstacle, and I'm not going to use any kind of extra motion. I'm going to stay chin over stem the entire time. So the benefit of this is it allows me to isolate the work of my legs and just do what I call a standing spring. This is where you free fall down the torso, and then you are gonna stomp really hard through the feet or press through the feet. And you're going to load the suspension as much as you possibly can. And that, by free falling, allows us to load more energy into the bike so it can spring back up. And then we just let the front wheel come up and then ride over it. The key with this one is a hard stomp and just let it roll. But that one actually caught my foot on the rock. So this one's only gonna work if you have speed before you come up to it. And you can see how all I'm doing is I'm just letting the bike come up after me. You can totally walk down here if you want to. Oh no, I forgot you were there actually. I get really zoned in. I'm sorry about that. I saw you and I was like, oh, she's probably waiting on me. That's so nice of you. Well, thanks for saying hi. Have a good walk. I like your dog. For this one, the best way to practice it is by getting a curb, 6-inch curb, and ride off of it, but get low when you're up here, and then don't let your visor move. Feel how the bike moves down under you and you stay on a straight line. This is just the opposite of that. The bike's moving, you're not. Now, if you're struggling with this one, you need to load up and work on triple extension, because I am not pulling the bars up. Triple extension is a body movement. It's one of the 7 fundamental movements of the modern mountain biker. And we're gonna use triple 1, 2, 3 of our joints. And we're going to use most of our power in our hips to do this. So if you notice, I didn't really bend down a lot. I didn't move a lot, but I got a decent amount of air. That's kind of what you need to do on the bike. This is hard because if you sit at a desk, the femur and the hip likes to stay together. So if you're thinking to yourself, man, the reason I can't progress is because I'm old, or because I don't have the right bike, or because I can't practice enough. Probably not it. It's probably because you can't access triple extension. What you're also going to notice is this is not just kicking the legs down from a straight femur. So that would be like this. Ow, that hurts. It really is from the hips. So yeah, we're pushing through the toe. Yeah, we're extending the knee, but the main power comes from right here. Riders, when they struggle with that on the bike, you need to remove the obstacle. You need to remove the speed and just do some standing springs and just pop down as hard as you possibly can without moving the body. Try that a bunch of times and it'll help you with that force through the feet. So next we're gonna add in a punch. It's Jeff Lanowski's term, he came up with it. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna briefly demonstrate this. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be loading the bike up and then making sure our torso has room to get out of the way, but we're going to punch the bike up the feature and we're going to roll the back wheel over. So as I'm riding up, I'm loading here, and as the bike unloads, I'm just gonna punch the bike up. And what do you notice about my torso? It's going to stay still. Then what I can do is I can jump off of that position that I'm in and jump my torso up to here and then ride off. Awkwardly catching my pedal on the rock again. The root issue of why people can't pull the technique off has very little to do with your practice, with your ability to wrap your mind around this. It has almost everything to do with your athleticism. And one of the key components here is your thoracic spine. So the thoracic spine, with a lot of people, that's this part of the body, they really struggle to move it. So again, I'm not trying to like brag or anything here. It's just I have extremely good thoracic spine and scapular mobility, which gives me a large range of motion, and I also have long arms. So this is gonna be a really good demonstration video because it's gonna look really pronounced. So for some of you riders, you don't have long arms, don't have long limbs, or you don't have great thoracic spine mobility. And so it's one of those things where, again, thoracic spine immobility can come from not using the joint. It can also come from other areas of the body. It's doing work of stability because you have a muscular imbalance or an injury or something like that. It's not unfixable, but you need to kind of have a team of experts around you to identify this and work on it if you want really, really good, fast results. Again, if you're like not the kind of person who's ever gonna sign up for one of our intensives and work with a team of professionals, probably the best thing you can do for your thoracic spine mobility would be just some daily controlled movement. I like this one. You just kind of bend down, keep your butt really tight. You want to move nothing below here, okay? So only move from here to the top of the spine and just rotate, lean back, rotate, and back down. Again, you got to keep your butt tight the whole time or else you'll end up cheating and rocking around. That won't help you. So let's give this a try, just with a little bit of a punch. Now this one does require a little bit more timing, a little bit more practice than just standing on the bike and pushing down on it and letting it rebound up. But if you want to play it slowly, you can see that part where I move the back wheel over the obstacle by punching it up and over. Depending on the size of the obstacle and your speed, sometimes like if I go extra slow here, put the wheel up, then it becomes a two-part move where I put the wheel up top and then I punch again to climb over. Now this is something that people maybe didn't tell me when I got started because I was pretty self-taught at the very beginning and we were a bunch of kids and we didn't know. But if you want to do this and you don't want to crash. A great way to abandon ship is to do the rear dismount. So let's say that I've got way too little speed and I'm on the path to crash. Oh no. I'm gonna jump back off my bike, grab the seat, grab the rear brake. See, I'm going up and I realize I need to eject. I go straight back and just like that. Keeps the bike from falling on me, because what you don't want to do is be up here and then try to reach a foot down and you end up falling over and wrecking yourself. Not as fun. It's kind of watching the 2-stage punch if you get your front wheel up on it. The key here is you just need to be comfortable with moving the bike away from and back to the body. Lee McCormack calls this like row and anti-row, or I just call it a push-pull. And push-pull is almost never done in isolation on a mountain bike, because when we push or pull, it changes our adjustment, our attitude of how we relate to the bike. And so the way I like to think about this is just in terms of planes, to make it really simple. I want to push the bike on this plane if I'm on flat ground. If I'm going up something, I want to push the bike on this plane, kind of in a straight line. And so what I want to do is I want to get my torso nice and still, but I want to get my hands and feet pushing the bike up. How do you stay connected to the bike? If I'm going to push up, naturally my feet are going to kind of create a counter force. So if the feet are going pushing that way and the bar is getting pushed that way ultimately, then I'm just going to stay connected to my bike because of force and also because of friction. It's very hard for that bike to come apart from me. So don't worry about that. If you do find that you're leaving the pedals, so to speak, then it's really helpful to get on flat ground and just riding at like a jogging pace. Just go like this and do it in a way where you go down and back in a count of 1, 2, but don't let the front wheel come off the ground as best as you can. That can kind of help train your body to move the bike in that forward plane. And it really is easy. If you get the bike up on the front wheel, moving it in this plane to get the back wheel up and over, you just kind of do it. Feels about the same. It feels like punching. It's like Superman punch, straight out. It feels like that. Let's move on and just work on the full-on bunny hop. So I like doing a little bit more speed for this. This is a bit more advanced. The key here is getting the back tire to land in the right spot. And the reason why it's important is because if you land the back tire nice and smoothly while you're in a really good position, you can pedal away easier. If you can't bunny hop, then that one's gonna be like not an unlocked skill for you. So I would go check out the how to bunny hop video that I made. I'll attach it right here. It's got a full breakdown. I don't have time to put that in this video today, but again, the key here is how do you land the back tire right over the end there. And you can practice that. You can regress this by just getting out a stick and doing front and rear wheel lifts. And front wheel lift first, don't hit the stick. Rear wheel lift, lift it up, don't hit the stick. It'll help you with your timing. All right, once again, Dave here. Thanks for watching. I'm on a mission to restore confidence by restoring athleticism, and we are on a mission to do this right now. If you are part of this, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get our help one-to-one, what I've done is I've gotten professional world-class instructors on my team, and we use the instinct activation method. And what we do is we do a deep dive into what's the main barrier blocking you from your progression, whether that be physical, mental, athletic, or something along the lines of technique. And we do deep intensives that are 12 to 48 weeks long with riders all over the world. In order to apply for this, you need to go through our application process, and we're tightening this up right now because we're improving the quality of the outcomes that we're giving for people. Right now, we've worked with over 1,065 riders, and if you want to be one of the riders who's getting rapid results and you want to cut off years from your progression timeline, then come apply for membership into the Mountain Bike Academy. We have some spots available right now. And again, just to be very clear, this is not some virtual coaching program where we give you some videos and give you a custom workout and that's it. We work deeply to help people feel fluidity and flow forever in their riding and make the most of every single ride. Go ahead and apply now using the link below, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks.